Ladies and gentlemen, there appears to be a new and upcoming church where once was a lot in the Philippines, baby. So, let's get on with the show. We will be talking about several concepts and or topics today. One of the topics will be the new church that Big E and myself are thinking about constructing on the property next door to my property. And the thing that's holding us back mostly is just $100,000 to purchase the property and finish the half existing building. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to give you out as to how the church and the 501c3 foundation will be set up, so that any donations that you send towards the building of the church and the furnishings, of course, the furnishings, from Uncle Sam, but in next year's taxes, of course. So that's one topic that we will be discussing. Big E will be coming on shortly to comment. If you have any questions, I will tell you what Big E's duties will be to attend my flock. So I will need assistance. I don't know who you are, so hello and welcome to the machine. You won't be getting a lot of FaceTime on here, and you're not going to interfere with my live stream, so try to sit down and just pay attention. There's going to be a quiz. So the second topic is going to be, well, we're going to talk about Warren H. and his medical update. Well, it's 5 days now, and all right, you're out of here. Okay, so it's 5 days now, and Warren, I have not heard from him. So I would imagine he's back in the ICU unit. Unfortunately, it's sad to say, but he was out for 3 days, and I do have some private videos of him and Blue Rose. No, I don't have that video. Some private videos of Warren and I laughing and have made joking around about different things. So that's one of the things. I actually need to go to my show notes to give you the topics that we're going to discuss. So one thing that we're going to talk about, as I previously, the Church of Christians Plus, as it appears in the title, will be the name of the 501c3 foundation that Big E and I will be setting up. And we're calling it the Church of Christians Plus because all denominations of all religions and beliefs are welcome. So that's why the Christians Plus. But in addition to that, there's a major benefit to becoming a Christian, especially if you are under the guidance of Big E in the underworld bunkers, that he will be addressing private sermons in the underworld bunkers of the church, which will double for a nuclear bunker in case of a nuclear catastrophe from Japan or a stray ICM ballistic missile. So Big E is going to preside over the private and or public sermons and meetings in the Church of the Underworld, of the Church of Christians Plus. But there is an upside to that. One of the larger water tanks that were already previously dug on the property are big enough and deep enough to have the Church of the Underworld for up to 6 to 8 people, depending on the size of the people. So, as I said, the Church of the Underworld will be mostly for private sessions between Big E and a particular segment of Christians Plus that need special attention. So that will be that will save on some construction costs, because the hole is already dug and the block work is already in place. So it just needs a staircase down into the existing water tank and to be covered, and of course electrified and air conditioned, because it's very hot down in the Church of the Underworld with Big E as presiding pastor. So that's one of the benefits of purchasing this property in the near future, I hope. The second thing we talked about is Warren H. And the third thing that I need to address is it's not quite as sad as the news about Warren H. going back into the ICU, but it is something that should be addressed, because there are a lot of people that are asking about this, an update on the Asus computer. So what we're going to do now is, first of all, I'm going to give a shout out to Newegg Computers, or Newegg Electronics. So let me get that up on the stream, and I'm going to tell you about Newegg. Hello, my John Escape. Welcome to the machine. Welcome to the machine. I did get your message yesterday. I had no time whatsoever to address that. I was working on another project, so please don't think I didn't address your comments or message. But one thing I will tell you is that what I was doing was a little bit more important than you, and I needed to. I had a deadline to get something done, and I did accomplish that. And then immediately after that, I took a bath and went to sleep. Okay, so let's get a Big E. Is that a shout out or a shout out? Shout out for Big E. Shout out to Big E. He will be the presiding minister or pastor, if you like, in the Church of the Underworld, where there are private and or public gatherings for up to 6 to 8 people, depending on the size of the people. Biggie will also be doing marriage counseling and dating advice, especially if your heart has been broken. Biggie has a shoulder for you to lean on. And bless you, my son. Bless you as well, Biggie. That you have been most kind to generously donate your time to the Church of Christians Plus. And I look forward to working with you, although I know that from your following and or what we might call your flock, in between your channel and the Great Cheat Corsairs channel, you might be rather busy in the underworld bunkers. So I look forward to seeing you when you come up for air. And I did look into that other thing that we talked about. I'm working on that. So the sad news besides Warren H. is the computer update. So first I want to give a shout out to a company called Newegg Electronics, I guess it would be. You can Google that. And Big E is complimenting me on my Patreon account, which happens to be one of the best and well-rounded, and in fact, most informational Patreon accounts on the internet. I won't mention what other people have on their Patreon accounts because I don't know a whole lot about other people's Patreon accounts. One thing I do know is that some people just have a Patreon account and they don't give you anything for the money. However, you can ask Big E what's on my Patreon account without actually going there. And the 700 plus videos that I have on the Patreon account are some of my older comedy videos and political satire with Mr. Obama and Mr. Trump and Mrs. Clinton dolls and things like that. And at the $20 or above level, you get to see just about everything on the Patreon account. There are higher levels, and I do have some subscribers to the higher levels. By the way, for those of you who didn't get the notice, the monies in full of the 147,000 pesos for the computer have been collected. But to digress back to Newegg Electronics, I'm going to put that in there. Okay, so it's Big E. Let's address the comments. Big E agrees and confirms that it's the Patreon account at the $20 or above level is well worth the money. John Escape says that he's going to join Big E's live stream. Now, John Escape also knows that the $20 or above level is well worth the investment, considering there's probably 600 plus hours of videos, as opposed to other bloggers, whereas some of the other bloggers don't actually give you any content at all on their Patreon account. They simply ask you to donate money to their monetary needs, and that's a reasonable request, considering that we spend our time and do our research, which I have some research on this new Corona beer. It's a complete and utter farce, I would say. Farce is a good word. And I'm going to give you some links and some news articles to prove that Corona beer, the Corona beer has been, it's in a medical encyclopedia dating back to 1989. Brief look at that so that you'll know where we're going when I get to that link. Let's talk about Corona beer, baby. Corona beer has been around for 500 years, but we do have medical articles out of a medical journal. Before I flip this phone around, he says it's a massive amount and totally worth the money, which he's referring to my Patreon account at the $20 or above level. The internet is starting to get upset. Thank you very much. Big E, 600 seems like it would take years to finish. Well, what people do on my Patreon account, to be fair, is they might start currently, or they might start at the very first video and work their way back to the first video I posted about 2.5 years ago. However, what some people that have been my subscribers have actually went back to my very first video, and they go forward and they watch each video successively to see the transition from Michael Fazio, excavation contractor, to Michael Fazio, ocean racer pilot, to Michael Fazio running the Cobra Mustang, the new Cobra Mustang, or the track hoe or the backhoe or the Bobcat. So there are many different versions of Michael Fazio, including Rabbi Jew Barker. There's an entire series that has been taken off of YouTube and placed at the $20 or above level for reasons that I have explained consistently. Although there are people that don't have enough gray matter in their brains to understand that YouTube selects certain people to remove and or delete the bell icon from thousands and thousands of their subscribers, which is what happened. Otherwise, right now, with 19,000 subscribers, I'd have about somewhere between 200 and 400 people watching my live stream. And probably the Church of Christians Plus would get funded within weeks, rather than what I expect to move on to sometime into September. I don't expect to collect $100,000 in the first few weeks, but who knows? I mean, there might be somebody out there that just has very deep pockets and wants to see the Big E and myself and Chi Corsairs. So the three of us will be attending the services. Eventually, we'll all have to move. They will have to move to Bahal for at least 2 or 3 days a week, especially during the singles gathering in the Church of Christian Plus, where Chi Corsairs will preside over the ceremonies of mingling with the flock. I don't know what we're going to call it, probably just singles, Christian Singles Plus. I mean, there's so many different ways to go about this. But Chi Corsairs will be giving shout-outs, kind of like a square dance or barn dance, where she'll take names out of a hat for the single men and the single women, and she'll shout out their names, and those two people will have to come together. And then if they need a special request song or some sort of an interpreter, Chi Corsairs can interpret their words in Visaya or Tagalog. So Big E and I already talked about this. Until the church is done, where eventually Big E will reside or have an abode, he's going to need a place. There's a place they just finished up about a block and a half away. It's just up the road, like it's a 5-minute walk, and they finished it and put a beautiful unit. It was a little bamboo hut. They turned it into a beautiful concrete house with a tin roof with aircon, no permit. They did a beautiful job. So that might be available. When the time comes, I'll get notified about the access to that house. I did speak with the landlord of the house next door, and they're going to notify me when the current landlord, who's off of Bahal, needs to come here and address some things when this situation changes. So where was I? I was right at showing you an article. I was right at showing you a video. Okay, now I'm going to give you the video link to this, but first the name of the article is Worldwide Lockdown Over the Common Cold. Okay, and I copied the link at the top. Now I want to expand this, and I want to show you something right here. And it's at the 5-minute and 27-second mark, which is interesting because that's my daughter's mother's birthday. And the 5:15 is another member of my family's birthday. So coronavirus right here is actually nothing more than the common cold. That's what it says here. Now, when was this journal written? Well, it's an encyclopedia from the year of 1989. So that goes on to explain about the size and diameter of the microscopic particles and let me see if I can find it when the book was written. It's right in the beginning. Here we are. So this book was a medical journal that was published by Bantam Books. It's a New York City book-based company, and it was published in 19. Having a little trouble with the internet. I said the words. I said those bad words. It looks like I'm being punished. Okay, Random House. Random House was a major book publishing company in New York City in 1989. So they knew about this particular strain for that article. Although I'm pretty sure it'll kill my live stream, I'm not going to worry about that. So So let's talk about Newegg Electronics. Newegg Electronics. My live stream is having problems. Let's see. Newegg Electronics is probably the best computer and or electronic gadget company that you'll ever come across. Certainly the best one in America. Now, I've done business with Dell, who is also excellent. I've done business with Hewlett Packard, which I had nothing but problems returning a unit that was new and it had to go back. So it was problematic. They did eventually take the return and refund my money, but they wanted to send me a new computer and I didn't want one, and we had to go to management for that. But Newegg has 100% warranty. They don't even ask you any questions. You just put the unit in the mail and you send it back. Now, did I have to do that with my Asus, the one I have now? No. But the person who got this computer from me, who was my computer technician, had used Newegg for years and years. And he never had a problem with a return, a warranty, or a manufacturer's concern for product update or some sort of glitch in the system. So if Pat is the person who actually sent me my first Obama doll. In fact, Pat is responsible for the Obama series because he kept sending me Obama stuff, Obama stickers, Obama placards, Obama pens, Obama posters. So actually, Pat was my computer technician, and he sent me, this is the original Obama doll. But however, after I took it scuba diving with me, it doesn't talk anymore, which is probably a good thing. So Pat recommended Newegg, and even to this day, when I talk with Pat, recommends Newegg as a computer, an option to buy any electronic gadget. So let me go to my hold on. I just have one thing to do here. I need to get a piece of information. So, okay, so now that I have back to the comments, Biggie says 600 videos seems like it would take years to finish it, and you add new stuff almost daily. Well, last week I added 5 new videos, again, at the $20 level. So the patrons that are at the $3 to $10 level will be receiving a grouping of probably 7 videos when I get that series done, the $20 series. I'll be sending those out to the current Patreon members that are between $3 and $10. So don't worry about that. You might see the upload at the $20 level. Don't worry about that. When I get the series complete, I'll copy the links and send you the series in private. So digressing back to my Patreon and how it's superior in many ways to other people's Patreon. So there are two things that other people who have Patreon accounts do. Now, if you take somebody like Vinny Eastwood, okay, he has a Patreon account, and he collects several $1,000s a month from his Patreon account. And he doesn't have anything special that he puts on his Patreon account. So when he does a live stream or posts an upload, all he does is put his live stream and his upload over to his Patreon account. But it's still available on his channel. He doesn't remove them from his channel. So in that regards, Vinny Eastwood collects between $2,000 to $5,000 a month for simply reposting his daily uploads and daily live streams to his Patreon account. Other people, for the price of entry into Patreon, what they do is they provide you a 3-day window before the video becomes public. And then that video becomes public, and then you can watch it on the channel or Patreon. That's another way to give people an opportunity to give them a service that helps them get, like, an insider look at what you're going to post 3 days from now. However, my videos go far beyond that of anybody else's offers, in that I give you 10 years of comedy and political satire that can't be seen on the internet anymore. It could be. It's not problematic for me to put them on the internet, but as YouTube makes them demonetized, I remove them and place them on a completely separate channel and put them into Patreon. So I don't really have anything to do with the ways other people collect Patreon. And then there are people that just have Patreon and their page is blank. And somebody like Stefan Molyneux, I mean, he has some great videos. He's real smart. I don't say for you to go to his channel and give him money, but that guy collects tens of thousands of dollars a year from his Patreon, and he does the same thing that Vinny Eastwood does. He just posts the video that he posted today, live stream. It's going to go to his Patreon account. So it's not like you can't see those videos on his page. It's just that people give them tens of thousands of dollars a year to do that. So hopefully one day we'll achieve greatness like Stefan Molyneux or Vinny Eastwood. And so Big E says, my favorite character so far is that pirate. Now, Big E is talking about the pirate. We saw that just a while ago. I'm gonna just be gone for about 15 seconds. Let me get the poster, and if you want this picture, I have the picture itself in file. I'll send you a picture of it. You can have it printed out if you like. Hold on, I'll take about 15 seconds.